With Brad Herauf, the head coach of the Regina Pats. Brad, as we speak right now, we're plus minus 10, 12 days away from the start of the regular season. What's the mood been like in Regina? How anxious, how eager is everybody here to get back to work and get set for the start of a new season of Pats hockey?
Yeah, for us, seems like all the guys been saying it feels like a long off season. We had a real good playoff performance last year. Couldn't get past the first round. I think our guys just hungry just to get back in the saddle and start fighting for a playoff spot again.
Now, obviously, anything is possible, Brad, but the elephant in the room is certainly the fact that, this is perhaps the post Bedard era, or the start of it, right, in Regina. And I just want to ask you basically on that front, when you look at what the Pats have kind of gone through for the past 3 years with having a player of Connor's caliber, does it maybe kind of change the focus now and offer some other players on your team really a chance to be that game breaker, maybe not necessarily compare to Connor Bedard, but to kind of take this team in their own new direction?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's what guys are most excited about. Connor, as he should have, he demanded a lot of offensive ice time, and he was capable of carrying that load. We got a lot of guys, coming in their second, third year, and everyone knows it's a 19, 20-year-old league in the WHL. So we got a lot of guys who are real hungry that they feel like they're on their peak of their WHL career. They're ready to take that next step. Into more ice time, into a bigger leadership role. So yeah, we got a lot of guys that are just ready to fill in Connor's shoes as best they can.
One of those guys certainly has to be Tanner Howe. I mean, a player that has put up pretty impressive numbers for your group and kind of played in all situations over the past couple of years, Brad. But, in just your terms, having gotten to work with him for the last number of years, what makes Tanner Howe such a special player and such an important piece of your group?
Well, I think Tanner just first and foremost going to talk about his character. He's played in a lot of Ivan Linka teams. He's played in the U17 teams. He just always finds his way on a depth chart. If it's left, right wing, if it's center, if it's power play, if it's penalty kill. He's just one of those easy guys. He's a great teammate. He's super easy to coach. He asks the right question. He wants to get better. And to the detriment of himself sometimes, he plays too defensively. But he's a real conscientious 200-foot player. But he's got a shot and he's super creative with the puck. So that's what we're trying to get him to understand this year, that he doesn't have to worry about stopping them from scoring too. With Connor gone, he's going to have some responsibility, obviously, create offense for us.
Now that you've had a chance to kind of look at some of the younger talent that's either entering year two with Regina or kind of potentially making the jump to major junior hockey this year, how excited are you for what kind of the future has in store here in this kind of new era of Pats hockey, and to be able to work with some of these newer prospects that have come into the fold? And Cole Temple may be a name that jumps off the page to me, but how excited are you to have these guys in the fold and to be able to start working with them at this level?
Yeah, I think that's one thing we've had here in the last couple of years. Kind of when we've had our team, the 25 guys are here to make the team. But this year, camp is a little bit different. We got some 08s and some 07s that really put some pressure on some of our roster players this year. We got some kids in midget AAA last year that were top scorers in the league or league MVPs. So those guys are all ready to. They're starving to take that step here, and I think it's been a lot of real good internal competition, especially with our forwards up front. Yeah, Cole Temple's been a real good one. Allman's been a good one, but we have an 08, two guys, Cameron Kuzma, Zach Lansard. They had a heck of a camp. Cameron Kuzma, if he wasn't 08, I think he'd still be here right now. So we got a lot of young guys that had a real good camps here. Some guys had to go back just sheer on size and for their development here. I think Al's done a real good job at laying out development plans for our players and how they can help themselves get on the Regina Pats and, what is their path to getting here. So I think a lot of those things are a lot of exciting things with our young guys, but also too, the development we have put in place for their future, I think just speeds up just them getting acclimated to the league.
The Pats went out and acquired a European goaltender with a bit of pedigree during the CHL import draft in Yuan Hue. Of course, his father played in the NHL. But Brad, how has he kind of settled in or started to settle in on this side of the pond?
Yeah, I think with Europeans, you have to, no matter how good they are, You got to give him the first couple of months to get acclimated here. It's different bill, it's different food. Culture is different. But I think Evan, he's really stepped in right away. He's been guys really taken to him. He speaks real good English, so I think he's ahead of the curve on a few guys. But in the practice, he works his tail off. He understands, what it takes to play at the next level and what it takes to be elite goalie. And you need to be one of the hardest workers in practice every day if you want to be that kind of goaltending. And he's been doing that. He's come in, got along with real people. Him and Kelton Pine have kind of hit it off as a goaltending tandem. So, he's even talking. I seen him the other day talking to Kelton. Just on certain breakout calls and stuff like that. So that's just showing how comfortable he is already just with our group. And for us, we kind of pride ourselves in, making sure everyone feels welcome when they come to our group. And if you got something to say and it's going to help us win, speak up.
My last one for you is about you. Obviously, you've been a part of that Pats organization for several years now, Brad, and got the promotion during the summer to head coach. Just share your thoughts with me on accepting that role, taking on that responsibility, and just maybe some of the things that you've learned, from your predecessors like John Paddock about being a major junior head coach and taking on that role at this level, and it's how excited you are to kind of accept that challenge.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of answers in their question, but I think if I was to answer John Paddock's answer, what he's done for me or what he's taught me, I think we'd have to do a whole new interview here. But yeah, I'm just real super excited. I've been building towards this opportunity for a number of years now. I feel like I'm ready at it. I feel like I've done it the right way and learned off some real good coaches, Dave Struch and John Paddock. I got Ken Schneider here now. We just hired Evan McFeeters here, so I'm surrounded by some real good guys. To support me into this new role. But obviously this is my hometown. I hear all the good and the bad that go with it. But for me, I'm up for the challenge. I want to bring a winning team to this city, like we've had in the past here. And I just want to put some entertaining hockey on the ice. The city deserves it. Our fans deserve it. I think we got a team that's building in the right direction to put a real good product consistently on the ice. So for us, that's just what we're concentrated here within Regina.